Hey, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today, we're going to be talking about Cruel Summer, Season 2, Episode 9, and let's get started. The events that are about to unfold take place during the fall of 1999 and on January 1st, 2000. It opens up in September 1999, where Luke is watching home videos of himself from September 1990. This video features his mom, his dad, Brent, and Megan is there. In the video, they're playing with water guns and fighting over this nasty looking cake. But they were fighting over this cake so bad, Luke's mom said, okay, nobody's getting cake. After that, the video ends. We see Luke was watching a video. Then we go to outside where we see Luke is in the pool and Brent just had to tip him over and put his head under the water like an idiot. He didn't stop until his dad told him to. And when Luke tries to defend himself, Steve says, "Don't be so dramatic, Luke. How about I drown you? How about that?" So when they get out of the water, we find out that their mom's been dead for 8 years now and that they're celebrating what would have been her 44th birthday. Steve wasn't acting like himself because he complimented Luke and told him that he has the same sense of humor as his mother. But of course, Brent's upset he's not getting all the attention. So he tries to insult Luke and tell him that he's in touch with his feminine side and that he's probably starting his period soon. You sound like a fool. They end the conversation by making Luke go play tennis, even though he didn't want to. He went on anyway. How about you have a backbone and say, "No, I don't want to play tennis. I'm not playing tennis. I'm going in the house." So in the next scene, we see that Luke, Isabella, and Megan just had their first day of school. But Isabella is walking around with the compatibility test. And by the looks of this test, it doesn't seem like Luke and Megan are that compatible. But as Luke is looking at this test, his douchebag friends come up and one of them goes, "There go the Spice Girls." "Where? I don't see them." That's a stupid joke. You sound stupid and it's just stupid. And anyway, there's 5 Spice Girls. I only see 3 people right here. Where the rest of them at? Where the Spice Girls at? But his little dumb friends make fun of him because he would rather hang out with Megan and Isabella than them. In October 1999, Luke is telling Megan that he talks even less to his father now since Brent went back to school. And even though his dad should be his emergency contact for everything, it's Megan who's his emergency contact for everything. And that's a shame. He also told her that it's been a rift between them two ever since his mom died. We see Steve at work when Luke walks inside of his office, and Steve is excited to tell Luke about his Northland development. He's like, it's going to be a hotel casino. There's going to be shops, restaurants, and a boardwalk. And I'm thinking, so you're trying to build a bootleg Vegas Strip. That's what you're trying to do. Luke was uninterested. He wasn't trying to hear that. So Luke tells his dad that he wants to join the Coast Guard and not go to Branson like him and Brent. Steve almost passed out and had an aneurysm. Steve told him being outside is what weekends are for. That's when you go golfing. Don't nobody want to play no golf. But Luke is trying to tell him, I won't be happy if I go to Branson. And Steve says, happiness is overrated. You can't provide if you have a family being in the Coast Guard. It's a hobby, not real life. Who said that? You? Because it don't matter what you say. I'm going to the Coast Guard. That's what Luke needed to say with his whole chest. And you know, this whole episode is from Luke's perspective. So things probably didn't even go the way he's trying to tell us it did. He was probably just trying to make us feel bad for him because I was feeling a little bad for him in this episode. But again, this is all from Luke's perspective and we're going to keep it moving. We see Luke at work and the sheriff hands Luke his Coast Guard application. He had his mail sent to his job because he knew that his dad would be tripping. The sheriff told Luke to try telling his dad again, but Luke said he's not going to even try because there's no democracy in his family. Then we go to Megan and Luke in bed, and they're saying how much they're going to miss each other when they go to college, but it seems like Megan doesn't know Luke's plan to go to the Coast Guard because she's saying college and not the Coast Guard. But they're promising each other that nothing will change when they go to college. But let me tell you one thing. If Luke survived to go to college, he would find out real quick that things change. But him being alive and him not being alive is another thing, and I'll get to that part when I get to that part. We're now in November 1999 where they're celebrating Halloween, and Megan, Luke, and Isabella are dressed up as characters from The Matrix, and I could have sworn Halloween was October 31st and not in November, unless they're celebrating sometime on the weekend or something. These timelines in this episode were confusing me. I'm like, what? They all look the same. But I get it, it's mostly during the fall, but I be confused. But as they're pre-gaming, I don't know what they're doing. Isabella tells Luke that Megan is following her dreams and that he should do it too. Luke says to Isabella, who's gonna be Megan's charming accomplice? Isabella tells him that role is already taken and that there isn't room in her life for the both of us. Isabella's been coming off as jealous and coming for Luke's neck. But again, this is all in Luke's perspective. We don't know if this is really true or not. Y'all let me know what y'all think. But I tell you one thing, if somebody ever tells me something like that, there's not going to be room for the both of us, I'm going to say, well, it looks like you're going to be the one that got to go. You the one that got to go. Why is Luke so quiet? Why he don't ever got to come back for nothing? We see Brent hanging out with Luke and Luke's friends, and Brent is trying to brag about filming girls in college, and he tells Luke that he better hurry up and set that camera up or Megan would get bored. He's dirty. Throw him in the trash. And you can kind of tell that Luke was thinking about it too. Then we get to Luke waiting for Megan at her house. Then after waiting for a while, Megan and Isabella finally comes home. We find out that Megan and Isabella just came back from the pub. And Megan forgot that Luke was going to be at the house waiting for her. But I have a strong feeling that Isabella didn't forget. She knew that Luke was going to be there with Megan. They were supposed to meet up. And she just didn't say anything. Luke said, well, why didn't you call me? And Megan said it was last minute. Isabella just had to throw in there, you couldn't get in last time anyway. Had to rub that all in his face. But Isabella was trying to start something. She was trying to make Luke feel jealous. She kept going on and on about how this guy was all over Megan. Megan was looking at her like, okay, that's enough, shut up. But Isabella just kept on going. At this point, let's go upstairs, because I got something to say to you. What you trying to do to me? You're supposed to be my friend, but you over here throwing me underneath the bus. So Luke sees Jeff at the sheriff's station, and we find out that Jeff is there for a parking ticket. Luke asked him if he was going to the homecoming dance. Jeff said no. Luke says, well, you can take Amy. Jeff said, don't do that. Don't do that. Jeff goes on to say, you got Megan, that's fine, but you should have came to me as a friend. I would have respected you and I would have respected it. But you've changed. Yeah, your brother is an a-hole, but at least he's honest about it. You're worse because you actually think that you're a good guy. And I said that too. I said it. We're in December of 1999, where Megan and Isabella are talking about possibly ditching to go see No Doubt. Then Isabella just had to say, she said this on purpose, she was like, maybe they'll be touring when we're in Madrid. Luke's like, when is this supposed to happen? Isabella says next summer. Megan's like, well, maybe it'll happen, but Isabella was like, yeah, it's gonna happen. She's waiting on her passport. Isabella was obviously just trying to rub all this into Luke's face. If Megan can't pick this up, it's obvious to see she gotta be delusional. Can't she tell that this is a game of tug of war? She's that little string in the middle, and Isabella and Luke are on the opposite side. Just look at the way Isabella looks at Luke when she knows that she over there making him jealous. Luke was sitting down over there looking sad and pitiful. Later on, Luke goes to tell his dad that he got into Branson, and of course Steve is excited. He's like, this is fantastic, I'm so proud. But that smile was quick to turn upside down when he told him that he also got into the Coast Guard Academy. Steve loses his mind yet again. Nothing new. He says, I'm not paying for it. I'm sick of trying to fix you. Trying to fix me? That's when you stop him and say, what you mean by that? But Luke tells him, you don't care about me, and Brent is your only real son, and that he's been resenting him since the accident, and that he knows that he really wishes that it was him who died. Luke goes on to say, it should have been you that was driving that day. You were the one that was supposed to go to take me to get my new cleats, but you had a work thing you had to do, so that meant that mom had to take me. He tells him, I'm tired of keeping your secrets, and all of us would have been better off if it was you who died. So we finally found out how Luke and Brent's mom died. She died in a car accident. Luke was in the car with her, and they were on their way to get Luke's new cleats. After that whole conversation with his dad, Luke goes over to Megan's house and he's asking her, has she ever thought about running away and starting over? We finally get back to where we started in the first episode at this Christmas party. We see Luke's principal telling him that his dad just told her how excited he is about going to Branson. And Luke just replies with, it's the Chambers way. That triggered Steve. It set him off. So he started to rough Luke up when nobody was around. He was like, how dare you say the Chambers way? He tells him, you're embarrassing me and yourself. Reputation is important. Luke tells him, yeah, it matters more than your family. And Steve said, stop whining. You're the one that's whining here. You're the whiner. But that conversation then triggered Luke. So he was like, I'll show you. He tells someone from the staff at the party to play the sex tape. He told them that it was a holiday tape. But once the tape was played, I don't know if Luke is trying to trick me or not, but by the look on Luke's face, it's making me feel that maybe he didn't mean to play the sex tape. Maybe he meant to pick up another tape and accidentally picked up the sex tape. I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all think he did it on purpose, or do y'all think he was trying to play some other tape to expose some kind of family secret? But after the tape was played, Brent and Luke's friends was praising him for getting Isabella on that tape, but not knowing that it wasn't really Isabella. Luke tried to shut down the conversation, but they just kept on going. They then ask him if he has a tape with Megan too, but Luke tells them no. They're all like, well, it's not like you could pull something like that off anyway. That's next level. But they just don't know. Then we get to Megan and Luke hooking up in the cabin, but Megan stops him because she's afraid that there could be another tape. But Luke is telling her that he promises that there won't be another tape. He's like, I love you. Boy, shut up. You're just trying to get some. So later on, when Luke is playing video games, Steve walks in. There he go again. And he tells Luke to break up with Megan. He's like, there's plenty more fish in the sea. Y'all are going to college. Y'all going y'all separate ways. Just break up with her. What was the point of him going in there saying that? So we finally get back to Isabella, Megan, and Luke at the cabin. And we find out that when Isabella shot that one off, it grazed Luke's ear. Luke's yelling. He's like, you crazy bitch. You could have killed me. Isabella said, I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to? What you mean? You picked the gun up. Where did you get it from? And you shot it. You shot it. But Megan is trying to clean Luke's ear up while Luke is yelling, untie me. Isabella's like, no, what if someone heard the shot? Let's leave him here and have him think about what he's done. How is he going to think straight? He was just shot. You got him tied up. He's drugged up. Make it make sense, because you're not making sense. And Isabella got the audacity to be standing there crying. What you crying for? You brought this on yourself. That's a true psychopath right there. You drug somebody, you tie him up, you pick up a gun, you shoot him, and then you start crying as if you're the victim. But before Isabella leaves, she takes the tape out of the camera and holds it as blackmail. She tells him if you tell anybody, then she's going to show everybody the tape. And before she walks out of the door, she takes all of the evidence, like the pills and all that, and she turns around, tells Megan to come on, let's get out of here. But Megan stays behind to tell Luke that she's pregnant. Now, I don't know if she thought Luke was going to be excited, but if she did, she thought wrong, because Luke freaks out. He's like, we got to tell my dad about it because he'll know how to handle this. But Megan gets upset. She's like, what are you talking about? I guess she wanted to keep the baby. I guess she thought Luke was going to want to keep the baby too. Megan tells him that she never wants to see him again and leaves him tied up there at the cabin. But Luke does eventually manage to untie himself. And when he does, he gets dressed and he's running through the woods with a flashlight. Even though he is drugged up and shot, he is managing to get away fast. And as he's running, he's replaying in his head what his dad told him. He's hearing his dad say, I'm sick of trying to fix you. He's hearing Jeff say, you think you're a good guy. And he's hearing Megan say, you're not the guy I thought you were. And while Luke is breaking free, Megan and Isabella are tossing and turning in the bed. They can't go to sleep. They're thinking about what they did. They wanted Luke to think about what he did, but nah, they up thinking about what they just did. Luke manages to run to the dock. I don't know why he decided to run there of all places, but that's where he ran to. And when he got there, I thought he was about to fall in. I thought that's how he drowned, but nah, I guess not. Because when he gets to the dock, he ends up paging someone. 752. Now, who else got a pager? But whoever he paged, they seem to get there pretty fast. And when they get there, Luke tells them, "I didn't think you'd come." Now, who is he talking to? Who do y'all think he paged? I'm thinking it could have been the sheriff, it could have been Jeff, Ned, or Steve, but I don't know. Ain't no telling. And when they got there, what did they do to Luke? Did they kill Luke, or did they help Luke disappear? Luke did mention to Megan, did she ever think about running away and starting over? So I'm thinking maybe he has this idea of running away. Someone helped him fake his death maybe so he can run away and be in the Coast Guard. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Because remember, when Steve lifted up that sheet, his reaction wasn't a big enough reaction for me. Or is he out there somewhere faking his death? Let me know in the comments so we can talk about it. And if you haven't already and want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.